Chosen one. This is no longer a gentle whisper. This is a sacred warning. The 19th of June, 2025, is not just a date circled on a calendar. It is a divine alarm that has been silently counting down beneath your life for years. It is a holy summons, marked by higher hands, sealed in heavenly records, long before you took your first breath. This moment has been written, not imagined. You didn't stumble upon it. You were led here, carried, refined, and positioned for this very threshold. And now heaven is no longer waiting. The veil is thinning. The hour is declared. And your name is echoing through the spiritual corridors. You are being called forward, not softly but urgently, not casually, but by divine command. Everything you've labeled as delay was actually orchestration. Every quiet night, every unanswered prayer, every invisible battle has been preparing you for what's about to unfold. The 19th of June isn't just the arrival of blessings, it's the final call to alignment. You don't have time to hesitate anymore. You don't have space for second guessing. You don't have the luxury of spiritual slumber. This is the moment where the appointed time collides with your readiness. And if you miss this wave, it will not circle back in the same form. The portals opening now are specific. The grace release now is time-sensitive. The alignment is narrow, and you must be awake to enter. You may feel it already. The atmosphere around you is shifting. The pressure in your chest, the fire in your spirit. The quiet, knowing that something holy is near. That is not your imagination. That is spiritual velocity, increasing. You are being summoned into the fulfillment of something your soul agreed to long ago. This isn't just encouragement, it's a prophetic alert. The gates are opening, the timing is exact, and you must rise now or risk being sealed out of what was meant for you all along. Heaven does not wait forever, and destiny does not negotiate with fear. This is the hour. This is the calling. This is the fire sounding deep within your bones. You are not just being told that good things are coming. You are being commanded to get into position to move in step with heaven's unfolding. The 19th of June, 2025, is not passive. It is active. It demands your obedience, your clarity, your spiritual seriousness. This is not about dreams anymore. This is about destiny. You are not being asked to imagine. You are being summoned to remember who you are and take your place. The moment has arrived. If this message stirred your spirit, comment below 77. I'm awake. I'm ready. Let heaven witness your agreement. Let the number 77 mark your alignment with divine timing. This isn't just a comment, it's a covenant. You've been carrying a spiritual promise for years, one so heavy, so radiant, that it could not be fully shared nor fully explained. It lived in the background of your life, burning quietly, pulsing beneath every decision, every heartbreak, every sacrifice. There were nights you felt it pressing against your ribs like fire. Mornings you awoke with an unshakable sense of divine expectation, as if something unseen was drawing closer. And long afternoons where doubt screamed that you had somehow missed it. But you didn't miss it. You couldn't. What is divinely assigned to you cannot pass you by. As C.S. Lewis profoundly wrote in The Problem of Pain. Pain insists upon being attended to. God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pains. It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world. Your seasons of doubt and waiting were God's megaphone rousing your soul to prepare for the radiant promise he has preserved for you. The delay was not denial, it was preparation. The silence was not abandonment, it was sacred training. You weren't being punished. You were being protected. Heaven was guarding your breakthrough, not from the world, but from the version of you that hadn't yet grown strong enough to carry it. All the waiting, the weeping, the walking away from things you thought you couldn't live without, it wasn't wasted. It was weightlifting for the soul. It was the divine conditioning required for the door that bears your name. That door was never late. It was always meant to swing open on the 19th of June, 2025. That date wasn't random. It's a checkpoint coded into your destiny. It's when divine convergence begins, the moment where restoration, elevation, and provision don't just appear, they collide. The things that were always meant for you start running toward you, no longer hidden, no longer postponed. You are not arriving late. You are arriving on time, perfectly aligned with the divine calendar set before time began. You must understand this. The weight of your calling demanded a level of maturity, discernment, and spiritual resilience that could not be rushed. You had to be built slowly. You had to be emptied before you could be filled. You had to learn to recognize what wasn't yours so that you could finally hold what was. C.S. Lewis, in Mere Christianity, captures this transformative process vividly. It may be hard for an egg to turn into a bird. It would be a jolly sight harder for it to learn to fly while remaining an egg. We are like eggs at present, and you cannot go on indefinitely being just an ordinary decent egg. We must be hatched, or go bad. Your waiting was the shell, and now you are hatching, breaking free to soar into the purpose for which you were refined. You weren't overlooked. You were being positioned. And now, as the heavens lean close and the spiritual atmosphere thins, the old timelines fall away. The energies that once hindered you are dissolving. The protection is being lifted. The door is opening. And this time, when you walk through it, nothing and no one will be able to stop what's been sealed with your name. There has been a violent shift in the spirit realm, subtle to the untrained but unmistakable to your soul. You may have already begun to feel the tremors, people disappearing from your life without explanation, long-standing situations crumbling under their own weight, opportunities once clung to now closing without mercy. Do not mourn what is falling apart. Do not chase what is walking away. What you are witnessing is not loss. It is divine severance. The old has been judged unfit to carry the new. Outdated energies, expired alignments, and false supports are being torn away by unseen hands, not to hurt you, but to prepare holy ground. This is divine demolition, and it is sacred. Everything that could not go with you into the next chapter is being removed. Not quietly, not politely, but surgically and with finality. The structures that were built by striving, by survival, by trauma, they are being dismantled because what is coming cannot sit on a cracked foundation. God is not building your future on the ruins of compromise. He is establishing something immovable, something that will stand through storms. This is not a collapse. It is clearance. You are being excavated so something higher, stronger, eternal can be built in you and through you. You were never meant to live from breakdown to breakdown. That is not your inheritance. You were not chosen to endlessly survive, clinging to scraps, begging for clarity, chasing after false peace. No, you are being transitioned into the realm of overflow, into a space where your very presence invites favor, where divine provision is not fought for, it flows. As C.S. Lewis wrote in the Screwtape Letters, courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point. Your transition into this season of overflow demands courage, a courage that empowers you to step boldly into the favor and provision awaiting you, leaving behind the survival mindset. This shift is not just emotional. It is territorial. It is generational. It is structural. The old you, the one who tolerated too much, gave away too much, stayed too long, is being retired. Permanently. This is no longer the season of hustle. This is the season of harvest. You have labored in silence. You have fasted when no one saw. You have wept without witnesses. You have obeyed without applause. And now you will begin to receive without having to chase. That is the nature of divine alignment. It doesn't reward performance. It honors perseverance. It recognizes the hidden sacrifice, and now the hidden will be honored publicly. You will not need to knock. Doors will open on their own. You will not need to beg. Provision will meet you where you stand. The shift has already begun, and you are at the center of it. This is not the time to shrink. This is not the time to play small, to overthink, or to ask permission to walk in power. This is the season you've waited for, not just in years, but in lifetimes. The season where the harvest overtakes the sowing, where what once felt distant now stands at your front door, where what you carried in secret begins to manifest in sight. The spiritual realm has already declared it. Now the natural must respond. You are not being invited to strive, you are being summoned to receive. And the only requirement is readiness. Do not mistake this moment for another motivational promise. This is not about inspiration. This is about inheritance. You are not being hyped up. You are being handed what is already yours. But if your mind is still in survival mode, you will misread abundance as threat. If your heart is still entangled in yesterday's losses, you will reject today's answers. That is why this season requires not just preparation of your hands, but purification of your perception. You must unlearn struggle. You must detox from desperation. You must retrain your soul to expect goodness without guilt. The door has not opened because you've hustled enough. It's opened because you've endured enough. You will no longer have to justify your vision, explain your glow, or apologize for your favor. You have paid the cost, not in pride, but in pain. You have been through the valley and did not die there. You were buried, but it was not your grave. It was your greenhouse. And now, what was forming in obscurity is breaking the surface in glory. This is what it looks like when heaven declares the harvest season. You don't chase. You attract. You don't perform. You align. And in alignment, everything finds you. The right doors, the right people, the right resources, not by manipulation, but by magnetic authority birthed from obedience. There is no need to hustle to prove your worth. The weight of what is coming will prove it for you. You are stepping into a realm where you don't force outcomes, you follow divine rhythm. And as you stay in that rhythm, blessings will be assigned to your path with your name already written on them. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. You are no longer being tested. You are being trusted. And when heaven begins to trust you, earth has no choice but to respond. You are no longer hidden. The unveiling has begun. The divine concealment that once surrounded your life was not punishment. It was protection. You were not being ignored. You were being covered, guarded, refined in secret, so that no one could mishandle what was still in process. But the process is complete. The seal is breaking, and what heaven has placed inside you can no longer be contained. You are stepping into visibility, not for attention, but for assignment. You are being revealed because the world is finally ready for what you carry. This is the moment your name begins to be spoken in rooms your feet have not entered. The moment when your energy walks ahead of you. The moment when what was once overlooked is now undeniable. And this will not happen because of who you know. It will not happen because you networked hard enough or posted often enough. It will happen because the spirit within you is too loud to ignore what you've carried in silence. The wisdom, the anointing, the vision, the depth, heaven is now placing on display. C.S. Lewis, in The Weight of Glory, captured this truth when he wrote, "I believe in Christianity as I believe that the sun has risen not only because I see it, but because by it I see everything else." Your unveiling is like the rising sun, not just for your own illumination, but to light the way for others, revealing the divine purpose that radiates through you. But make no mistake, this revealing is not about applause. It is about impact. You were marked long before you were celebrated. You were anointed long before you were acknowledged. And now the acknowledgement will come, not because you sought it, but because heaven has timed your emergence. This is not a popularity surge. This is a prophetic unveiling. The spirit within you has been waiting to stretch its wings, and now the winds of divine timing are lifting you. You don't need to make noise. Your presence will speak. Your essence will echo. Your walk will confirm. what your words never had to prove. You will find yourself speaking differently, thinking differently, choosing differently. Because revelation births responsibility, the higher you rise, the clearer your atmosphere must become. The more influence you hold, the more sacred your alignment must remain. You are not being elevated to blend in. You are being revealed to disrupt darkness, to restore what has been broken, to reflect what is holy. The revelation of who you truly are will be undeniable not just to others but finally fully to you. Everything around you is about to change, but not because you forced it. It will change because you have changed. The shift is not starting from the outside in, it's coming from the inside out. And now that your inner world has been purified, recalibrated, and anchored in truth, your external reality must come into agreement. This is what happens when alignment is complete. Heaven moves and earth obeys. Your thoughts, your words, your posture, everything is now infused with the frequency of divine purpose. And that frequency is magnetic. You'll start walking differently, not with arrogance, but with an unshakable knowing. You'll speak with clarity that silences confusion. You'll attract opportunities, not because you chased them, but because your spirit now resonates at the pitch of fulfillment. People will sense it before they understand it. They'll feel the weight of your calling without needing an explanation. Your presence will start to stir atmospheres. Your silence will carry more authority than others' noise. Not because you're trying, but because you've become. This shift is irreversible. You are not going back to the version of yourself that lived in fear, that tolerated chaos, that begged for belonging. That version served its purpose, and it has been laid to rest. What rises now is holy, refined, clear, rooted. You are no longer performing to survive. You are embodying what you were born to carry. The fog has lifted. The trauma has loosened its grip. The false identities have fallen away. You are finally seeing yourself as heaven always saw you. And that sight alone is power. The distractions that once held you no longer tempt you. The doors you once tried to force no longer appeal. You no longer have the appetite for what diluted you. You've been emptied to be filled with clarity, and now that clarity is directing your path. It is pulling you away from anything misaligned. It is shielding you from anything unworthy. You will begin to feel when something is off, because your spirit has become too calibrated to tolerate chaos. This is the power of inner transformation. It becomes the compass of your destiny. You are becoming a living signpost of divine timing. You no longer operate by chance. You are governed by calling. Every step now carries the weight of eternal purpose. This is why the inner work mattered. This is why the healing took so long. So that when the shift arrived, you wouldn't sabotage it. You'd be ready for it. And now it's here, not in fragments, but in fullness. And it's coming from within. Do not forget what it took to get here. Do not minimize the nights you bled in silence, the days you smiled while breaking the seasons you walked through without a map or a guarantee. You did not arrive at this threshold easily. You arrived by fire. And that fire was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to forge you. Every delay, every betrayal, every divine no was a furnace. You weren't being punished. You were being purified. Not because you were unworthy, but because your calling was too weighty to carry with contamination still clinging to your spirit. You have passed the test. Not the test of success, but the test of survival. You stayed when others left. You believed when everything screamed doubt. You forgave when you had every reason to harden. And because of that, heaven now deems you trustworthy. You are not being rewarded because you performed. You are being rewarded because you endured. You didn't give up when it would have been easier to quit. You didn't collapse when others expected you to fail. And that silent victory is why your public reward will not be delayed any longer. But don't be surprised if some people can't go with you. Not everyone is permitted beyond this point. Some were only assigned to the version of you that was still in refinement. They cannot follow you into fulfillment. And that is not rejection, it is preservation. This reward is sacred. It is not to be shared with those who once fed your doubt, questioned your worth, or stayed silent while you suffered. You don't owe access to those who didn't intercede. You don't owe explanations to those who dismissed your pain. Let them fall away. What is meant for you will remain, and what is not will be removed swiftly and without apology. Now comes the release, the blessing, the unveiling of what was stored up while you waited, wept, and warred in prayer. Now comes the moment when what was promised is no longer a distant vision but a present reality. You won't have to chase it. You'll just walk in it. It will recognize you because it was made for you. This is not compensation, it is confirmation. Confirmation that your yes mattered, that your silence was sacred, that your patience was prophetic. The refining is over. The reward has begun. Everything is beginning to move quickly, precisely, and without resistance. The gears of divine alignment have turned, and what was once stuck has started to flow. This is not coincidence. This is orchestration. The heavens have issued their release. Assignments are being shifted. Angels are being dispatched. Delays are being overturned. And everything that has your name on it is being magnetized toward you. Not because you demanded it, but because the time has come. Your spirit has come into full agreement with your calling, and now the world around you must respond in kind. You will begin to notice it in small waves. At first, messages that come at the exact right moment. People you thought were long gone, suddenly resurfacing with clarity. Closed doors, reopening, without your effort. And then the waves will become floods, opportunities falling into place with divine precision, resources aligning before the need arises, answers arriving before you even ask the question. This is what divine timing looks like. It does not creep, it cascades. It rushes in when the soul is ready, when the heart is clear, and when the vessel has been made whole. There is nothing random about what is unfolding. Every detail has been orchestrated behind the veil. Every connection, every reversal, every new path is arriving not by chance but by command. You are not stumbling into favor, you are being drawn into it by design. And the more you yield to this flow, the more effortless it becomes. You won't need to strive, manipulate, or force what is already yours. You will simply align, and in that alignment, everything will accelerate. But alignment also requires discernment. Not everything that comes in this season is meant to stay. Some doors will open as a test, not a gift. Some people will return not to build, but to distract. This is where your clarity must remain sharp. You must remember who you've become. You must guard your frequency, protect your focus, and stay in the rhythm of the spirit. Because what's coming is too specific, too sacred, too personal to be tainted by anything that does not bear the mark of divine alignment. This is not the time to look backward. This is not the moment to entertain what once drained you. The alignment you're stepping into is generational, territorial, and eternal. It is not just about what you gain, it's about what you'll govern. And for that, you must remain in position. Because from this point forward, blessings will not need to be chased. They will locate you, confirm you, and crown you. Alignment has been activated, and it will not be undone. Mark this moment with reverence. The 19th of June, 2025, will not be remembered as an ordinary day. It will be recorded in the spirit as a coronation. The moment the seal was broken, the moment heaven stopped withholding and started releasing without measure, the moment your past no longer held power over your future. This is not the finish line. This is the green light, the divine signal to stop surviving and start receiving, to stop hoping and start walking in fulfillment. You are no longer the one seeking, you are the one sent. You have been chosen, refined, and trusted. Now you are being revealed. Do not let this moment pass by unconsecrated. Everything in your being must now come into sacred agreement. Your thoughts, your words, your posture must align with heaven's decree. You must stop asking for permission to carry what was always meant to be yours. This is not the time to hesitate. This is the time to stand tall in your knowing. You are not random. You are remembered. You are not overlooked. You are ordained. You are not behind. You are right on time. And the divine clock has struck. Destiny is now. The silence you endured was never wasted. It stored up power. It sharpened your spirit. It aligned you with the voice of God when the world was too loud to hear him. Every tear you cried in secret became a seed of glory. And now the harvest is undeniable. The pain was not punishment. It was investment. And what's coming to you will arrive not just as restoration, but with interest, overflow, reversal, vindication. This is not just your breakthrough. This is the beginning of a new blueprint, a divine map unfolding before your feet, step by sacred step. From this day forward, you will carry yourself differently. Not because you rehearsed confidence, but because something eternal inside you has awakened. You will no longer operate from wounds. You will move from wisdom. You will no longer speak from fear. You will speak from authority. This is your holy reintroduction to the world, not as someone trying to be seen, but as someone sent to be light. What is rising in you is not ego, it is essence. What is surrounding you is not luck, it is legacy. And what is waiting for you is not wishful, it is written. So prepare your space, clear what drains you, detach from what dims you, make room for what is meant to find you. Walk like it's already yours. Speak like the doors have already opened. Think like the chosen one you are, because the time has come. The heavens have spoken, and what they have declared over your life no force in hell can undo. This is your moment, your mantle, your mission. Step into it fully. You are no longer rising. You have arrived, Father of light, keeper of time, and author of all destiny. I come before you now, not as one who doubts, but as one who finally remembers. I strip off every layer of fear, every lie spoken over me, every residue of delay, and I step fully into the time you have declared as mine. I align myself with the hour you have sealed, the 19th of June, 2025. Let this not be just another day. Let it be the day heaven meets earth in me. Lord, I receive the weight of this moment. I will not treat it lightly. I will not let it pass like a breeze. I recognize the fire in the air, the trembling in the unseen, the holy urgency echoing in my bones. I confess, I am not behind. I am not broken. I am not forgotten. I am ready. I am positioned. I am chosen. You have refined me through silence, protected me through delay, and trusted me through fire. And now I rise not in my name, but in yours. Seal this shift upon my soul, God. Let every part of me, mind, body, spirit, come into agreement with heaven's timing. Let the doors you've ordained open wide, and let the ones you've shut never be touched again. Remove every voice of confusion, every tether of the past, every soul tie that was never sanctioned by you. Anoint me feet for divine movement. Anoint my eyes to see clearly. Anoint my voice to speak only what you breathe. I do not beg. I do not bargain. I believe that this is the moment my lineage turns. I believe that this is the hour when all I lost comes back, multiplied. I believe you have crowned this day with purpose and written my name in the scroll of appointed ones. So let the veil be torn. Let the seals be broken. Let what was stored be released. Dispatch your angels, Father. Send them to clear the way, to guard the gates, to deliver what was assigned. Let no darkness interfere. Let no delay return. Let no manipulation distort what is divinely mine. Let the winds of acceleration gather around me now. Let the voice of heaven thunder through every resistance. I renounce every lie that told me I wasn't ready. I renounce every wound that made me shrink. I renounce every atmosphere that tried to contain what you birthed in me. And I now declare by the power of your Spirit, I will not miss my hour. I will not fall asleep at the gate. I will not abandon what you anointed me to carry. I will rise. I will walk through the doors. I will reign as one you have crowned. Let the 19th of June not just be remembered in heaven, let it be remembered on earth as the day the chosen one awakened fully. Let my life from this point forward become a walking prophecy, a visible fulfillment of every word you whispered in the dark. I step into that fulfillment now. I take the mantle. I carry the fire. I walk in the full weight of my calling, without fear, without apology, without delay. In the name of the Most High, who called me, shaped me, and now sends me, Amen.